hello, friends, and thank you for joining me and my very, very special colleagues, David, Maria, and Vivika Sophia. They're here one more time to share their incredible work and wisdom with you. And I must say that in a recent experience I had with them, there was such a deep opening in me that I have really literally come to see my entire life as having unfolded in a way that I never appreciated, that has given so much more meaning to it and has opened the doors for just incredibly further revelations and growth for me. So to the two of you, I thank you profoundly. And I know your work continues to evolve and evolve. Literally by, I won't say the hour, but by the day, I'll be that measured. But I would love to hear what's new in terms of the revelations and the things you would like to share with us today.
Thank you, Bill. And of course, to begin with, it's such a pleasure to be here with you, as it always is. I'm not going to speak for her. I love to be here and be in your presence and share. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you.
And thank you so much from me also. It's always such a joy and the fulfillment to share this space of love with your parent. Thank you.
Well, you are most welcome. I'm honored that you've agreed to be on these sessions with me. And there's always something rather incredible and deep for us to learn. And I'm eager to find out what that is today.
So we have a new class that is going to be offered in May 24th, and that class is titled The Symphony of the Stars, the Living Language of Source. And that's what we'd really like to talk about today, not necessarily about the details of the class, just the overall. So one of the things that I would love to share is that as we personally go through our ascension process, each one of us, because it is unique to each one of us, eventually the cells in our body, and especially in our nervous system, become crystalline. They change from being carbon-based to crystalline-based. And the next step of that is that they evolve from being crystalline-based to being diamond-based, just a higher frequency. And as that happens, as our nervous system becomes crystalline, what happens is that specific cells in the brain begin to transform. They become like piezoelectric. They begin to emit light, just like certain crystals and materials, especially quartz, which are also piezoelectric, can emit light when they're gently struck, and it's measurable. But this is much deeper. This is much deeper. This is actually within our nervous system that this happens. And as this happens, our nervous system begins to emit more light. And as you and your audience undoubtedly know, quartz is the single most abundant element and mineral on the earth. And as these cells begin to awaken in us, they awaken first in our nervous system. Then the rest of the cells in our body, at whatever speed they do, they also begin to become piezoelectric. And now all of the cells in our bodies begin to emit light. And they connect with all of the quartz in the entire earth. We connect with the earth grid. We become one with the earth. And these are all just manifestations. They happen naturally on their own as we go through this process of awakening and transforming ourselves. As she would say, I definitely like to geek out every now and then, because those things are just, I find them just personally fascinating. That our nervous system aligns with the grid that is already here on the earth. And that is really and truly just the beginning, because that is just a localized grid here on Gaia, on Mother Earth. There's an even larger grid that we call our solar system and our local sun, and an even larger grid that we call our local galaxy, the Milky Way, and even larger grids that are connecting many galaxies together and eventually connect all of the galaxies in our universe. And then even larger grids that connect with other universes and out into even bigger, into the multiverses. In essence, we are connected with all of creation. And you've heard me speak at one point, Bill, that every single cell in our body is connected to a star or a galaxy. And this is
universe.
And in this universe, or even bigger. So there are somewhere around, I don't know how scientists could even begin to measure this, but it's estimated that there's like 30 trillion cells in the body. And each one of them is connected to a star or a galaxy in this universe or in other universes. In essence, we are lining up as a grid, and we are emitting light through this entire creation because we are completely tied into it. And this is a song, this is a symphony. And each cell in our body has a unique note that gets contributed. Each cell in your body does the same thing. Each cell in every person's body does the same thing. They all connect and contribute their note, their unique note. And that's just the body. That's not the deeper aspect of it. And I'll let her share the much deeper aspect of what this is.
Just different perspective to that. We're talking about same thing, but from just different perspectives. And when David shared about our cells and then they becoming crystalline, and it's maybe sounds that they becoming really solid, but it's opposite, because they, when we're talking about this crystalline diamond light body, it is, we're talking about crystalline diamond plasma light body. So it's much less dense, it's more fluid, And as David described, it's connected with all creation through our cells, and the opening happening through our heart, and through when we are fully connected with our core, which is plasma core, and which is core of all creation. This core is one. There is no separation, and when we all connected with our core, there is not that this is my core and this is your core. This is one core. This is core of all creation. This is where all creation coming forth, and this is plasma core. And when we are connected, then this plasma, diamond crystalline plasma, starting to flow from this core, and it's starting to activate our cells. And it's starting to also make this new connection through our nervous system. And as David described, our nervous system will change, and they like this new connection. They are also this crystalline plasma connections, and they will connect with different higher vibrational higher dimensions. And higher dimension, they based on this crystalline diamond plasma energy, and they are more fluid, and this is the reason why we feel more connected than ever with all creation, because sometimes it feels like it's just one wave of energy that flowing through all creation, and the one part of that is your body. So it's really hard to put into words this experience, but we're trying the best. and when we're talking about the symphony of the stars, every star, as David also shared, has its own unique tone, seed sound, and they all coming from this core of all creation, because all creation is living language of source, and it have been born from one core sound, which is Om. All creation came from this sound, and this sound like spread out to different seed sounds, and every seed sound became one creation, and the seed sound is always held in this core of this creation. And we all have this one like seed sound, our unique heart tone, which is always connected with this first sound. And this is what we're calling also this cosmic symphony, how we all connected through our core, through the sound, to this very first sound. And this we're referring also as living language of source, because all creation literally came forth through very first sound, and this sound also then connect to the light, and they both created this very first blueprint, what we're calling Eden blueprint, and it became like this first blueprint to all creation, and it evolves but it's like very first blueprint to all creation. It created this first creation that after that spread out, and it's hard to put all this to words, and it's just evolves, and this understanding. But we started to remember how all creation like coming into being. It's so vast that when we share, it feels like it's only one small drop of that. So
And it's not just hard to put in words. Sometimes it's close to impossible to be able to translate the feeling, the knowingness that is inside, and be able to express that in words. So we keep trying.
And when we're talking about this, our unique heart tone, which is part of our soul blueprint. So this unique, our unique sound, which is always connected to all creation, and when it's opening up, when our heart literally starting to sing this sound, it's starting to sing, we feel this sound through our heart when we are truly fully connected with our core, and this automatically start to connect with different stars. When we're talking about, for example, families of stars, and we everybody has like deeper connection to certain star systems, to certain stars. And when we're talking about star seeds, then star seed is this seed sound that came from this star. It's like extension of this star that came into this physical form. And when you are open your original heart tone, this seed sound, you start to feel connection to this star system and your family of stars. And they starting to like connect through this sound, starting to communicate through you. And this is what we're doing in this class, that we opening up this connection. We're starting to remember, feel, connect more deeply to our core sound, and through this sound connect with our family of stars. We're not talking about star beings, we're talking about stars. And through this remembrance, we also starting to remember more who we truly are, how we came into being, what is our purpose, and also these beautiful gifts, these unique gifts that everybody of us have. So even when we are united as one, when we're talking about unity consciousness, everybody of us have their unique gifts, unique expression of source. We are united, but at the same time unique.
Is this sound a single tone, or could this sound be what we call a melodic pattern of sounds?
It's very similar to this core sound. It's not only single sound. It's like personal symphony. Even when we're calling that our heart tone, it's not only one tone. It's combination of different tones, because we are prototype of this cosmic body of source. Our body is prototype of that. And then the same thing is with our heart tone. This holds the same potential of infinite expansion as this very first sound, Om. So we're doing constantly the same what source doing. When we are truly fully connected with our core, we're sending forth these different seed sounds as fundament of new creation. And the more consciously we're doing that, the more consciously we can create from that. But the only thing is that they are always commanded only through love. Only
I'd
through
like to
love.
share, yes, I'd like to share that in some very deep work that I did, I'll say just over a decade ago. I was asked in this deep process to discover a sound pattern, okay, that was unique to me. And I created this simple little, musically, I call it a theme, okay? Well, in doing in one of the absolutely deepest processes I had ever done up until that point, I went through phase after phase after phase of revelation and transformation, etc. And suddenly, a whole symphony orchestra was playing this theme. Okay, and it's like, oh my God, because the only time I had ever experienced this was, in sort of single tones unfolding. And there's this entire symphony orchestra playing this theme. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this, except I could. So it even takes the form of whole symphonic representations, I think.
We would wholeheartedly agree. So if you can imagine for just a moment that every person on the planet is able to fully connect with their heart,
With their core.
with their core, and begin to sing, whether it's out loud or quietly in stillness, the sound, the tone that is their original tone, and everyone sing that together. That is a symphony. And it's already happening, just maybe not consciously. And that symphony is connected with all of creation, because it is all of creation.
And when we're talking about singing, it doesn't mean that it's
not
song.
whoa.
It's not song. It's vibration. It's sounds, and sometimes it's stronger. Sometimes it's feel really, really subtle. And as we shared, it's not only this one tone, but. And what is this living language of source? It is an aspect of mother. It is aspect of divine mother, and she is creation. She is living language, and she holds the creation. And when you fully connected with our core, you're starting to feel how her presence starting to express herself through you and connect with you through your heart. And this is a moment when you're starting to feel your original heart tone. And this is a really deep remembrance, because her energy is directly connected with your heart. And literally she is starting to sing through her heart. And the Divine Mother, we can say that Divine Mother sang all creation into being through this first sound. And all creation is her living language of Source, because the Divine Mother is one aspect of Source. And the first aspect of creation, and then through Mother came light as Divine Father into being, and they are not separated from each other. And when we're talking about this language, there is, of course, there is always this light aspect. But the core of that is mother energy, as sound. And we literally becoming embodiment of this language, the language of love, which flows through all creation and then connects all creation. And when everybody, as David said, starts to remember this, our core truths, our core sound, and starting to feel that, we automatically starting to connect with others. And then the heart starting to connect and communicate. Sometimes this communication is without any words. It is just through this living language. Sometimes we express that with words, sometimes in silence. And it is so deep connection between all creation. And as we shared before with David, when you, for example, go then into nature and you meet the tree, you don't think that this is a tree, you don't put any labels to tree, you don't put the tree into box that, oh, I know this creation, this is oak tree, for example. You just connect with trees through this living language, through your heart, and this connection is automatic. You feel her core sound, you feel her unique expression. Every tree is unique, as we human beings are unique. Every creation is unique, and this is really beautiful.
I had an experience in a shamanic process out in the desert in Utah. And my shaman had arranged this so that we would be out in the desert on a very auspicious day, which was 10-10-10. So it was the 10th of October in 2010. And in this process, two things happened within a very few minutes of each other. I was very deep in a meditation and felt like I was being absolutely strangled. And it pulled me out of the process, and he came over and assisted me and was holding me, etc. And it was like I was just being choked to death. And I was able to say to him in that moment, we're strangling her to death. And I meant Mother Earth. That the connection in that moment was so deep and so direct that it was literally like I was feeling and manifesting what I felt was her expressing her agony, in a sense, in that moment. And after I calmed down from that and went back into the meditation, a few minutes later, I was totally out and gone. And I leap up and say, I'm a Pleiadian. And it's like my brain said, where did that come from? It was like something just evoked this connection. to the star system. And I haven't forgotten that, and I have continued to work with that process.
And this is a remembrance that as you said, that remembers that one of your aspects is also a Pleiadian, and when we're talking about this living language, then literally this mother aspect, the divine mother aspect is now fully back, and it expresses herself through our true core, through our beingness who are open conduits to her energy, and she literally rising through our hearts, and this is what we feel as this living language, because she is connection through all creation, and she's singing through all creation as this primordial sound. And when we're talking about star connections, the first steps have been that we're connecting star families, these different beings, but now we're connecting families of star systems, and we remember ourselves as stars, and we're connecting with other stars, and we remembering again how to hold this original intention of source. And for example, when we're coming into being, we all holding this original intention of source in our blueprint. But when we dropped into this density, we forgot that, and our intention was outside of ourselves, but now we're starting to remember and feel this original intention of source, how source wants to express through us, and starting to remember. We can call it also purpose, our purpose, soul purpose. And stars, for example, they holding really steady this original intention all the time. They are connected with their core, with heart tone, and with all other stars, and with source. And this is what we're becoming. We reclaiming our cosmic body, diamond solar body, and we are connected with all star systems, and we are, as part of all creation, again holding steady this original intention of source, and holding the space to others.
And it's wonderful to be aligned in this way. And when I say aligned, I don't mean necessarily that we are aligning so much as we are being aligned. Our bodies are being, not just the physical body, but all of our multitudinous spiritual bodies too. They're being aligned to tune with this original core frequency, so that there is an unbroken stream with no resistance, no hiccups, the stream comes through cleanly and smoothly, and there's never a speed bump, if you will.
And that we are not project our personal will, but this is a divine personal will. It's related to ego, and this is like filter, but we are becoming this embodiment of divine will, and we allow to shine it freely through our hearts and through our mind also, that cosmic mind of God, source, starting to shine through our human or lower mind.
At the beginning, David, you mentioned that we hold within our brains these cells of piezoelectric light. Does this process that you're going to be doing in this class, does it begin there, or is it beginning in the heart?
Always
Before that, please.
always in the heart. Always in the heart. And these cells are already in everybody. They're just in most people, they're just dormant. But as we begin to remember, which is the predominance of what is happening now, is that everybody is, to whatever degree they are, is beginning to remember. At least they are being presented with prompts and urgings from the inside. As our nervous system begins the process of transitioning to becoming crystalline, those cells, those dormant cells, begin to awaken. Everything that we are is already within us. It's just dormant and waiting for the right moment when it can awaken it, and we remember it.
And we have a different word to these cells. David have a different words. I calling them solar cells, that diamond solar cells, but we're talking about same things. So, and it's starting from our heart always, and the very first cell, it's awakening and starts to shine force its true essence and activates other cells, and the more deeper we're going into our heart, the more intensity is this light, and until we're fully connected with our true core essence. And then it's so that you cannot go any more deeper. You're just starting to shine forth everything that you are. And it's really identifies this. This process becoming much more intense then in this point, and this diamond solar plasma, it feels in body as really strong radiation, and it's coming from your heart first, and then it's your brain lighting up, and your whole body, every cell starting to shine it forth, this light. So, and transform it. And even when we calling that diamond solar crystalline light, liquid light, this true essence is love.
In our last discussion, we talked about the nature of the Eden Temple, and the Eden Temple being in the heart, or being that heart space. Is the temple that singular cell, that singular diamond cell of light that then manifests, or is the temple a kind of a first level of what manifestation, extension of that primal cell?
What we're calling Eden Temple, this is our new light body. This is this diamond crystalline solar light body, And this is a part of architecture of the new Earth, because our Mother Earth, Gaia Sophia, she becoming a star, she becoming the diamond sun. And we are not anymore just living on her like we did before. We are connected with her as one consciousness. And our diamond sunlight body, this is a part of this architecture of new Earth. And the very essence and the core of that, this is the diamond sun in our heart, which is shining forces architecture, our true essence as projection. You can share your
what she said. No, sorry. As that original diamond sun awakens in your heart, as your heart expands, so does that sun. It grows larger and larger and larger and brighter and brighter and brighter. It encompasses our physical body. It becomes our physical body. And it surrounds us with this magnificent, almost unimaginable light. And I say unimaginable because it's unimaginable to the brain, but fortunately not to the heart. The heart knows. And this is our new light body. This is the body that we are.
It projects forces this new architecture, holographic architecture of our new light body, and this is what we're calling the Eden Temple. So when we're talking about new Earth, it's not that it's not that we need to wait that this is somewhere in the future. We're embodying our future selves in this now, and we're bringing forth this new architecture of new Earth and grounding here now in this now moment. So we are the new era of peace. We grounding this Eden, the paradise, we can call that paradise or Eden or Garden of Eden, through our hearts, through ourselves.
And each one of us that does this, we add to the overall that is available to all of us. Anytime any two of us or three of us or four of us connect with each other in this space, it amplifies even more.
Yes, and then we all connected and through our heart, as we before spoke about that, and this energy, this living language of source expressed through all of our hearts, through our beingness, and literally this new constructs of our body, they're starting to vibrate, to sing the same song, this our true heart tone. So you shining it forth, this energy through all of your beingness, and it's really it's really beautiful what we're becoming as one collective. And this is what's happening right now in collective. It's everything that have been unconscious. When this veil starting to dissolve, these unconscious layers right now, like opening up, coming forth, all this energy. And people feel that, and many people, they don't understand what's going on when they feel this energy, and they unconsciously they react to that. And when we last time we spoke about this collective healing crisis, this is what a part of that's this unconscious, we're becoming conscious every moment, and this unconscious mind, it's transforming to higher mind, this unconscious level that have been related to our ego. And this is why we had this amnesia, because there was this veils, and everything is rising up, and we're starting to remember who we truly are, and also we're starting to feel this suppressed pain, and the collective pain body is really active right now, because it's all this coming forth, and and some people are reacting to that. And the more you are conscious, the more you knew what it is, and what is this process, what we're going through as one collective right now. It's personal, and at the same time it's collective. And the more we're doing this inner work, personal inner work, the more we releasing all that revealed right now to us. The more we help collective.
In the same way that an orchestra or a symphony is going to perform a piece of music, whatever it is, and all of the individual participants, they're warming their instruments up. And it's usually just a cacophony of sound. Each one is doing their own thing. Every violinist is playing whatever they want to do. The trumpeters are doing what they want to do, etc., etc. And there's no integration with them. And then all of a sudden, a conductor steps up and taps on his podium, and everybody's at attention, and now all of a sudden they are unified. And everything that comes forth now is a symphony in flow, in harmony with everybody. Of course, this has nothing to do with the quality of the individual musicians or the quality of the orchestra, etc., etc. That's really what we're talking about, is that we are ready to become aligned, or we are being ready to become aligned, to be able to be a fully aware and conscious participant in the symphony that is the universe and all of creation. It's not just this universe, it's just one of many, many universes.
I really love this example, and it is exactly this, when we, as one, this moment when we're starting to play this beautiful song, then our focus is only on this song, only this one melody. And this is how we're putting our focus all the time right now into our hearts to connect to this cosmic symphony, and then we're starting to sing with this symphony as one, and every cell in our body, it's literally singing, but some cells is out of tune in our body, and they literally emanating these lower vibrations, and we can feel that as tension in our body, or pain, or sometimes they are manifesting as physical disease. And now what's happening, this whole body tunement, we're releasing this from our cells, this cellular memory, all these lower vibrations, and they literally starting to sing, and our heart is how you call this, directing, conducting all the symphony. It's all this, yeah.
And we all know the difference when multiple people, like in a chorale, in a choir, get together and they are able to sing harmonically with each other and bring forth overtones, just how much each new additional voice adds to the sound that is coming through, adds to the vibration. It with each voice, it becomes richer and fuller. And that's a lot of what we're doing right now.
Well, David, I'm going to push your analogy one step further. Okay. After all of that cacophony.
Does this have anything to do with trumpets?
No, it has to do with symphony orchestras
Okay.
and harmony, because after all of that cacophony that you're talking about, before the conductor comes up there, the orchestra tunes to a given note, and everybody tunes their instrument to that note. And it's that tuning process that allows then the harmony and the flow to unfold. If they didn't do that tuning, okay, it could still sound like a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, what your work does is allow us to develop that tuning process, to tune so that we are, because you used the word aligned and you've used the word harmonic structure and overtones, to get all of that working harmoniously, we need to open up these dormant capacities and begin to allow to feel them and bring them into coherence and intonation. And I think that, what people would benefit from enormously is being able to go into your work. I know you've said in previous episodes that you've recorded or will have recordings of all of these previous, I'm going to call them building blocks, these steps that we've taken to, for those of us who've been in the class, to now be at the point of being able to, I'll say, really take advantage of this new class that you're going to be doing about the Symphony of the Stars and basically attuning to the Symphony of the Stars. So tell us a little bit about how can people get into this symphony with you? They can go on the website. What's going to be there?
Well, there's to begin with, there's a menu link just for meditations, and you can find all of the meditations, or most of them, that we have offered. There are still some to be added. We usually wait a while after a class or a course before making it publicly available. And to be honest, there's no real reason that we do that. However, that said, as wonderful it is as all of those meditations are, because we love each and every one of them. Some of them were recorded before Vivika and I began to work together. As wonderful as they are, it's not absolutely necessary that anybody go through all of them in order to be able to join in the classes and the courses that we're offering now. Things are accelerating extremely quickly now. Everything is dramatically being amplified. And people are ready in ways that they do not necessarily understand. This is the time that we came here specifically to remember. We came here specifically to remember who we are and who we've always been, and to master our own energy. And to me, most people now are more ready than they imagine they might be. That does not mean that it's not easier, if you will, if you've gone through a longer process. That doesn't mean that it's not available. So I don't want anybody to feel discouraged that because they haven't done this a certain body of work, they're not ready. As far as I'm concerned, if you feel a resonance to anything that we are saying, that's the sure sign that you are ready. And I'm a big proponent at one level of just jumping off the edge of the cliff and trusting the fact that as you begin to fall, you'll learn how to fly.
And I wanted to share that the youngest participant had been 10 years old girl.
Yeah.
And she was so open and she had such amazing visions. And she came with her mother. And then we had also one beautiful young woman who meditated very first time in her life. And she came, it was our Estonian community. And she came into meditation, and she felt grace, and she cried, and I asked her that if she feels emotional right now, that some emotions released, or she feels, this beautiful feeling of infinite divine love and lightness. And she said, yeah, I cried because I feel this beauty of this love, and she did it very first time. So she was ready. And in these classes, there is always, even when we're talking about this one stream, but as we shared before, that there is infinite amount of different different energies, and they all seeking this resonance within people. So even it is united experience. Everybody feels it in their unique way.
Absolutely.
So
and this 10-year-old girl that came to a meditation that we offered at Vivika's home, she didn't need this. It was quickening for her. It brought it more to the forefront of her memory, but she already knew. She may not have been totally conscious of it. And I say that because right now I'm speaking to your listeners and listeners that will listen to this recording at some time in the future. You're more ready than you may think you are. You're already deeper than you may think you or believe that you are. It's there.
Yeah,
it's just waiting to surface now.
So it doesn't matter how many years you or did you ever meditated or did any inner work. When you feel this call, when you feel this resonance, it's a sign that you're ready. So,
well, I'm hoping that by the hundreds, people will come to your classes. I'm in awe of the work that you've done, the openings that you've created. David can tell you, Vivika, that when I joined David's classes for the first time, I thought I had done all the work necessary already. And the openings, the deeper, it has just continued and continued. And the benefits, the benefits are absolutely enormous. I'm living a very different life than I was living before. And so many of the dormant things have awakened, but also the distractions and the dissonance has dissipated. And boy, how things have changed. So I want to thank you. I know we're going to be doing this on a more regular basis. We'll have a number of these conversations available quite soon. And yes, even though May 24th is when that class happens for the first time, the whole experience of continuing to develop this work, I know, is going to extend long after that. And I just invite people to go to the edentemple.com and find out what's there for them, because it's incredible stuff, incredible work. So thank you. And this has been an incredible hour. And I deeply appreciate your time, your incredible gifts, your heartfelt way of sharing with us. And I look forward to a next session very soon. So audience, thank you. I hope you've gotten as much out of this as I have. I've been basically lit up during this entire hour, resonating with the message, resonating with the love that's emanated from the two of them. And there's much more to share. So thank you and see you again soon. Bye-bye.